Hey, how you doing today? This is your boy Chris Harris, and welcome to another episode of Open Doors. I want to thank you for taking the time to check out this podcast, to check out this episode. And I know today, as we discuss a topic, we're going to have an awesome time. But before we jump in, hit that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button, because I'm telling you, Open Doors, we're dropping episode after episode, and we know that you have a busy schedule. We know you have a lot going on in your life, and you don't want to miss the topics as they drop, because we're going to hit you with some interesting topics. So instead of you trying to find out when it's dropping or searching, when you subscribe, it'll come right to you. So hit that subscribe button, like this episode, and share it to everyone you know. Share it to everyone you know, because I know you got some people who you are connected with who wants to get in on this conversation. All right, let's get started. Today, I want to discuss something, because this guy, Elon Musk, you know Elon Musk, right? You know Elon Musk's net worth. Let me just, when I saw his net worth, I almost fell out my seat. The one percenter, Elon Musk, you know, the one who is the founder, the owner of Tesla. He's also founded this company called Neuralink. He founded it in 2016, and they have this product that they're running trials on. We need to discuss. There's a video I want to play you, and once we play the video clip, then we'll jump right in. Let me play the video for you.
Imagine the joy of connecting with your loved ones, browsing the web, or even playing games using only your thoughts.
For 8 years since founding Neuralink, Elon Musk has been wanting to get inside our heads.
We think probably in about 6 months we should be able to have our first Neuralink in a human.
It took 6 months longer than that, but now Neuralink says a human volunteer has been fitted with their implant. It's designed to measure brain activity from more than 3,000 microscopic wires routed into the brain using a custom-built robot, currently aimed at helping people with spinal injuries or motor neuron disease communicate via a computer. It's not a world first. Competitors of Neuralink have already successfully demonstrated implanted brain-computer interfaces, and there are other ways to read people's minds. In this lab at Imperial College, I'm being fitted with a headset that measures my brainwaves without scalpels, even needles. So this headset is covered with an array of electrodes that are measuring the electrical activity of my brain indirectly through my skin and my skull. And it's been trained on hundreds of volunteers that are fed into an AI model over here to interpret the brain signals that correlate to motor function, the ability to move. In this case, moving my hands. So that means even a volunteer like me who's never come across this interface before can use it to play a computer game, not by actually moving my hands, just by thinking about moving my hands. The focus of this spin-out company is to help patients regain function following a stroke. And advances in AI may mean wider applications without risky surgery.
This is a very exciting field because the non-invasive technology allows for many electrodes to be on the surface of the scalp, and we get information from all of them. And using machine learning, we're able to extract that information in a different way.
Elon Musk brings determination, endless wealth, and hype to brain science. But animal and human trials bring ethical and technical hurdles that make self-driving cars and rocket science look easy. Tom Clark, Sky News.
So you saw the video. Elon Musk. I was saying that Elon's net worth is like 188 billion. I saw somewhere. 188, not million, but billion. My mouth can't even say it when it just, my mouth almost gets stuck when I say 188 billion. That's his net worth. But the Elon Musk the founder of Tesla, the Elon Musk who has the SpaceX, who wants to live on Mars, he has this company that he founded called Neuralink, and it was founded in 2016, and they're working on this chip. That is going to be called, the first chip is going to be called telepathy. and they're already doing the trials of it. And it's a chip that they will insert in your brain. They will insert in your brain, and they're giving these claims for this chip. I was doing some research, and they're giving on these claims for this chip that a person can connect with a computer. A person can connect with a technological device, not by touching it or moving of your hands, just by your thoughts, telepathy. And they're saying it's going to be a device that can help the blind see. They're saying that someone who is paraplegic, someone who has paralysis, is something that they can use. They have the prosthetic, like the prosthetic arms and legs and things like that. That this chip will help them take better control over those members that they've lost, that have the prosthetic. They'll have better control because they'll be able to take control over their mind. So it sounds good. It sounds good. But the question I have to ask when I look at this, is it a blessing or a snare? Is this something that's a blessing or a trap for society? You know, my mother used to have this saying that she would always say. She would say, truth is stranger than fiction. I come to find out it was a Mark Twain saying. My mother was an educator, but as a kid, I didn't know. But she would always say, truth is a lot stranger than fiction. Because I would watch a lot of science fiction movies growing up. You know, I would watch a lot of TV growing up. And she would always say that. She would say, truth is stranger than fiction. And as I grow and as I become older, it's right. It's right. Truth is a lot stranger than fiction. And like I said, this chip, they're saying for those who are disabled, they want to do it for, so those who don't have their access to their certain members, though, you know, those who are handicapped, that now they can, you know, use a computer, they can use a certain type of technological device, because they won't have to use their hands, but it will all be tied to their mind, telepathy. It sounds good. It sounds good. But what's the inspiration behind it? That's what I began to think as I was watching this video. Because in life, everything is inspired, right? Everything is inspired. When you think about the Bible, let's go to the Bible. When you think about the Bible, the scripture says that the Bible was inspired, or holy men were inspired by the Holy Spirit to write the scriptures in the pages of the Bible. Everything is inspired. Things that you have done, you have been inspired in some way or another to do it. Everything is inspired. So what is the inspiration behind this Neuralink chip that they're pushing out, that Elon Musk is pushing out? Is it going to be the blessing that they're saying is going to be, or is it a snare to mankind? Is it a snare to us? We have to pay attention. We have to pay attention. Because the devil is subtle. The devil is subtle. The devil, he'll push something out. The enemy will push out an agenda, and it sounds good because you're looking, something that can, someone who's blind, someone who's paraplegic, is something that can help them out because they're disabled, so they don't have they don't have the mobility, they don't have the functionality to move their arms, to move their legs. Now things they need to get done, they can do it not by moving those arms or moving those legs, which they don't have access to, they're not accessible to them, but they can do it by their thoughts. It sounds good. It sounds like something that will benefit mankind, so people will be for it. But is that the inspiration? Like I said, truth is a lot stranger than fiction. Everything is inspired, right? Let's go back in time as we were growing up. Let's go back in time. I remember watching the cartoon, the Jetsons. You remember the Jetsons, the cartoon? The Jetsons had Zoom. They had meetings on, it was supposed to be the future, right? And they had meetings. They were taking meetings on television or on computer. They were taking meetings not in person. Now we have the Zoom meetings. They were meeting with the doctor via the computer or the monitor. Now we have the teledoctor, right? The Jetsons came out years and years ago, but everything that you see on the Jetsons is happening today because everything is inspired. So now you have to ask who the person who made the Jetsons, where did they get the inspiration from? What about the Simpsons? Remember, they used to always say that, oh, the Simpsons, the people who created the Simpsons were time travelers because these different episodes that happen on the Simpsons, they play out later on in real life. They are time travelers. No, they weren't. They're not time travelers. Everything is inspired. Everything is inspired. There is a spiritual realm that has dominion or authority over this natural realm. So there are spirits that are working behind the scenes, influencing and affecting this natural realm. And that's where inspiration comes from. And there's only two types of spirits. There's the spirit of God, the spirit of light, and there's the spirit of darkness. They all control or have access into this natural realm. So when you see things happening, things playing out, you have to ask yourself, if the spirit realm is controlling or the natural realm, and if these things are playing out, if we have only two types of spirit, the spirit of light and the spirit of darkness, then where is the inspiration coming from? Is it coming from a place of light, or is it coming from a place of darkness? That's where I'm trying to go on. I want us to have this discussion today because I said this Neuralink chip that's coming out, it sounds good. It sounds like a benefit, but the devil is very subtle. He's very subtle. He's very subtle. The devil wants to see what you will accept. And the devil can dish it out little by little until the devil tries to fulfill his agenda. And everything is inspired. I talked about the Jetsons and the Simpsons in life. But you see certain things. I remember taking my family to the movies recently, and they had this Aquaman 2 that came out. And I took my daughters to the movies. They had the day off, and they wanted to see this Aquaman 2. And I remember just sitting in the movie theater, and to be honest, I was so uncomfortable. And you might be asking why I'm uncomfortable sitting in a movie that's a fictional movie. But the characters that were being shown in the movie, where did they get the inspiration from? I remember listening to a testimony of a man who had gave his life to Christ. And he was talking about these experiences that he had, these encounters that he had with Christ. And he was talking how Christ took him into the realms of the spirit and was showing him things. And one thing he said that really stayed with me, he said that Christ took him into the marine world because there are marine spirits. And he said Christ showed him certain marine spirits that were in the marine world. And he said there were one spirit. Now, I'm not into Disney or some of these characters like some other people, but he said that there was this one spirit that looked just like one of the characters on, he said the name, like I said, I don't know, I'm not familiar as well as some other people. There was a character on Monsters, Inc., a popular animated movie that a lot of people have seen. And he said there was a character that was on there. He said it was just like a character in the movie Monsters, Inc. I'm watching Aquaman and I'm seeing these characters and I'm saying the person who created this beast, this character, where did they draw their inspiration from? From the eyes to the facial expressions to the whole makeup of different characters. They didn't just pull it out the sky. So it didn't just wake up and say, let me just do. No, though it had to come from something. It was inspired by something. It was inspired by something. That's why I said everything is inspired. Trust me, everything is inspired. But the question we have to ask, what is the inspiration coming from? Is it coming from God? Is the inspiration coming from God, or is it coming from the kingdom of darkness? So back to the Neuralink chip. It sounds very good. It sounds very good because they're throwing out there that, oh, it's going to help the blind. It's going to help those who are paralyzed. Oh, look at this. It's a telepathy. So you don't have to even move. It's all based on your thoughts. That brings me to another point, because I'm asking, where is this coming from? Where is this inspired from? A lot of testimonies that I see from people who had near-death experiences, when they talk about their account that they give from going to either heaven or hell for a second, or getting a glimpse of heaven or getting a glimpse of hell, they say something and it's all consistent, right? This is what they say that's consistent. They say that when you go into that realm, they said that you communicate not by verbalizing, but you communicate from telepathy. There are so many. If you go on YouTube right now, right? If you go on YouTube and you look at different testimonies of people who've had near-death experiences, some say, I went to hell. I died and went to hell. And this is what I saw. This is what I saw. This is what I saw. Some say, I went to hell. I went to heaven. I got a glimpse of it. This is what I saw. They all give their account. Different people at different times give their account. But one thing that's consistent in their testimony, do your own research. Trust me, take time, do your own research. Go to YouTube and just check out different testimonies. One thing that you will see in a lot of these testimonies, they'll say that the way they communicated in hell, in heaven, was not verbalizing, but it was telepathy. So going back to the chip, is called telepathy. What they're saying, the capabilities of the chip is that you don't have to move or touch anything. It's all through your mind, telepathy. So the question I have to ask, where is it inspired from? We have to ask these questions. We have to always, as the Bible says, be sober, be vigilant. We always have to keep our eyes open. Because the Bible said the devil is always roaming. He's always moving. Roaming is moving. The devil is always moving. The devil doesn't sleep nor slumber. And we think, oh, this is something that can be a blessing. Oh, this is something that's great. Oh, it's a technological invention. It's something that will spearhead the technological age for years to come. It's something new. It's something great. It sounds right, but is it a blessing or a snare to us? Because this is my 2 cents on it. This is how I look at it. Number one, I wouldn't want anyone putting anything in my brain. They have to put a chip in your brain. And they're saying this is for, they want to start out with those who are disabled. That's what they're saying. But that's where it starts. That's where they want to start it out at. Like I said, the devil is subtle. The devil is subtle. Trust me, they may start it there. They may start it there, but it's going to grow. It's going to grow from someone, who's disabled. That's what we want to make this for, to the regular person who's fully in health. It has a start because they have to get approved. It has to be approved by whatever agency has to approve it. It has to be approved. So, of course, we're going to make it to have benefit to society. We have to say that. We have to say that. So they're going to say all the right things is what I'm trying to say. They're going to say all the right things just to get approved. But once it gets approved and gets out there on the market, trust me, it's going to move to, from being disabled. Now anybody can get a chip implanted in their brain, and you can, have these different capabilities. You can use telepathy. Another thing that Elon Musk has said, I read it somewhere, Elon Musk has said, he said, eventually you'll be able to, when you go on a computer and you want to search something, you do a Google search, you do some kind of search on your computer to find information. Well, if this chip is connected to a computer interface, now the information on that computer interface they're saying will come automatically to your brain. They're saying that, oh, your brain will be able to contain and receive so much more, so much more, so much more information. That's what they're saying. Eventually, that's where they want to get to. That's what they're saying. That's why I said truth is stranger than fiction. Because this is something that you thought you would just see in some sci-fi movie. But no, this is something that's being played out in real life. And you have to ask, where did they get the inspiration from? I remember some of you have seen the Netflix movie that came out with Julia Roberts. Julia Roberts and I always butcher this guy's name. Mahershala, I think his name, Mahershala Ali. I think I got it right. Mahershala Ali. He's in the movie as well on Netflix. And in the movie, there was this blackout. And they lost power to everything. Internet, everything. They lost power. They couldn't use their cell phones. The Teslas that have the self-drive. What happened, they're saying it was some kind of attack, some kind of terrorist attack where they tapped into all of the networks and all of the Wi-Fi and everything, and they were controlling it. And you see the Teslas crashing, all the power is down, and they're basically saying that everything that we do is based on technology now. We're deep into this technological age. One of my episodes, I was talking about the cell phone and how much we are slave to cell phone technology. But it basically was saying how much we live by technology. But in the movie, someone, it never did said who it was. It never did said who it was. At one point, it said I think it was China or someone else. But it was saying that someone had hacked into the networks of America, and everything was down, and you just saw the chaos because our life is surrounded by technology. Now, I saw some of the comments where people were critiquing or reviewing that movie. They said, "Oh, this is stupid, this is dumb." But is it? Is it? Because I'm telling you, where did that inspiration come from? You think it can't happen, but if you look on our news today, there are the hospital here in Chicago that got hacked. All the information in one of the hospitals in Chicago, I won't say the name, got hacked. Insurance companies, national insurance company here in America got hacked, and their systems have been down. So you say it can't happen, but it's happening right before our eyes. So now I look back at that movie, and truth is stranger than fiction. So that movie came out before this stuff happened in our country. That's happening in Chicago. That's happening in the nation. You see, I think it was Verizon or AT&T. I can't remember, where their system was down and people were saying, "Oh, it was hacked." You see different things that happen, but people were saying, "Oh, that movie it could never happen." Truth is stranger than fiction, because I see this type of stuff happening, and it's going to happen. It's going to happen. We used to watch movies, and we would see like where a virus came and somebody had released a virus in movies from years past, and it just brought down a certain country or brought down a certain city, and we would say, "Oh, that would never happen." And then COVID-19 happened. COVID-19 happened. COVID-19, and I believe that that's the wave. I don't want to scare people. I believe that's the wave of the weaponry in the wars to come. When countries fight wars to come, it will be via virus. So truth is stranger than fiction. But the question we have to go back to, when you see these fictional TV shows that I mentioned, the Jetsons, the Simpsons, the movie with Julia Roberts, Mahershala Ali. When you see these different fictional movies, everything is inspired. So where are they getting their inspiration from? There is a spirit behind these projects. There is a spirit that's inspiring men and women to do these things. It's not just they didn't pull it out of nowhere. There's a spirit that's operating there. So as a church, as a Christian, we always have to keep our eyes open. We always have to pray, because I'm looking at this Neuralink chip. And this is what I said when I first saw the video. I was like I said first, I wouldn't want anybody putting anything in my brain. But this is what I thought, and this is how my mind works. Because if that chip is tied to a computer interface, if that chip is tied to some kind of network, and if they can hack into that network, maybe they can control my brain. If I can have thoughts and my thoughts can control something, couldn't it work the other way around? Let me throw that out there for a second. If the whole basis of this chip is to be implanted in my brain, and now there's telepathy where I think something and I can make something happen, right? That's what they're saying. So could that now possibly be turned around where now, no, it's not me, the thoughts that I'm having controlling something else. Could it be where they're controlling my thoughts? Think about that for a second. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Because I believe that's the agenda. The devil wants to control you. And what way that can the devil control? What's the best way that the devil can control you? He can control your mind. The Bible said, and the God of this world, what does he do? He doesn't blind your eyes. He blinds your mind. So the best way to control a person is to control their mind. In warfare, the best way to control a person is to control their mind. So as much as they're saying that telepathy can happen where I can think something and it can control something, but I believe, you don't have to believe this with me, I believe that the agenda is to eventually use that to control you, to control what you think, to control what you do. So no, I don't like it. So they're pushing it out there as something beneficial to mankind. But I ask the question again, is this something, and I want you to take a look at it, do your research on it, think about it, because this is just the first. I read where they had trials with pigs, and they've had trials with a monkey, and now I think in January of this year, they had their first human trial, and they're going through that, and we'll see what happens. But it's just the first. It's not the final. It's just the first. But I believe it's growing and growing and growing to something else. But what's your thoughts on this topic? Let me know in the comments. I would love to hear your viewpoint. You might say, Chris, you just crazy. But trust me, that's the way I think, because I'm looking at it and I'm saying the devil is very subtle. The devil is very subtle. Oh, the telepathy. Where are they getting this from? Because I know everything is inspired. So when I look at something and I see something, like I said, now because of my walk with God, when I see certain shows or certain movies, I look and I say, what was this inspired from? When I see certain products, what was this inspired from? Because there's the spirits of light and there's the spirits of darkness. So it's only two. So where's this coming from? I always have to ask myself that question. But talk to me. Let me know your viewpoint on this topic. A lot of things are going on in our world. The world is changing fast. You always have to keep your eyes open. But let me know what you think on this Neuralink chip that's coming out. This Elon Musk and what he's doing with his $188 billion. What is he doing with he's like a mad scientist now with this $188 billion. It's like he doesn't know what to do. He's like a mad scientist with all the money he has, trying to do different things. But talk to me. Share this to those that you know. Like the episode. Before I go, I want to give a shout out to the Dream Team, Blessed Dreams Production, my boy Alfred, and Eyes Have Not Seen, my sister Marilyn. I want to thank you again for taking the time to check out Open Doors. And until the next time, God bless you.
Don't ever take nothing for granted, man. Hey, you gotta wake up and realize it all.